All right. This one was wild. We're covering Get Shorty today, and it is our first movie with Danny DeVito. I know I have mentioned before in this series that I am not a comedy girl. More times than not, I am not a fan of comedies. See Wedding Crashers for Exhibit A. And you hear Danny DeVito and you're like, okay, this comedy is gonna be at a level. And I had a lot of fun with this one. I had so much fun with this movie. I had really mixed feelings about this one because the cover of this looks very stereotypical 90s cheese movie cover, and it's Danny DeVito and John Travolta in a movie which I never thought I'd see put together in a film. But yeah, let's hit those box office stats and a recap of the film before I dive into all of my thoughts on this film. With a budget of $30,250,000, Get Shorty generated an overall domestic revenue of $72,101,622 at the box office. We have a return from last month's overall winner 7 as this month's highest monthly earner with $49,911,935 and Get Shorty at $26,498,424. Not too surprising, as both of these movies came out roughly 3 weeks into their respective release months, meaning that in this series they kind of seem like late bloomers for all of their stats. This comedy is about Chili Palmer, a loan shark mobster from Miami who finds himself all the way out in LA on the hunt for a missing client. A movie connoisseur himself, Chili finds himself pitching his latest mission to movie producer Harry Zim, who happens to be in deep debt himself, with the hopes he can leave Miami and break into the movie industry. Determined to make his budding dream come true, our chaotic protagonist finds himself finishing his work with Miami, entangling himself with the mobs of LA, and cleaning up Harry's steadily increasing messes, all the while falling in love with an actress. And onto the movie we go.
Gee, I don't know how I could have missed you in that shirt.
So apparently this movie was based on the book, Get Shorty, by Elmore Leonard. I had no idea there was a book even attached to this, otherwise I'd try reading it because I like doing book-to-movie comparisons. But Get Shorty is the first book in the Chili Palmer series. There's only 2 books, but I'm gonna go buy both of them after watching this. And the author says that this has been the best film adapted from one of his books, so high praise. I'm curious to see how comedic the book was compared to what it was turned into, because a lot of the times movies can shift tones just depending on the book. Like How to Train Your Dragon is wildly different from the books. But yeah, apparently in the book, Harry Zim, the producer that Chili Palmer gets entangled with in this film, says that he wants to cast Gene Hackman as the lead in the film that he's producing in the book. And then in the movie, they actually got Gene Hackman to play Harry Zim. And I'm like, that's so freaking cool. And apparently Gene Hackman didn't even want to do this one in the first place just because he doesn't normally do comedies, which is precisely why producer Barry Sonnenfeld wanted him to do it. He just wanted him to play the character straight because with how crazy this film is, it would have come across comedic anyways without him adding any extra comedic flair to it. John Travolta didn't want to do this one either. It was actually Quentin Tarantino that convinced him to do it. So I just thought it was kind of interesting that 2 of our big leads are like, nah, I don't really want to. Okay, I guess I will. But they really, really worked. Honestly, I thought this movie was just gonna be like John Travolta playing like greaser, mobster John Travolta. And that's kind of what it is, but with a more silly, lighthearted air to it. It really worked. I actually genuinely liked his character. He plays the lead, Chili Palmer. I don't know, I really liked him to begin with, and then it comes out that he's like a huge movie buff, and I'm like, my guy, we've got to be friends. We got to talk all these movies. And he's like throwing out quotes in the theater to like older films that he's seen. I just really appreciated it. He seemed like a genuine cinephile. But the opening scene to this film shows you exactly what you're in for. Again, went in with lower expectations because Danny DeVito's at a comedic level. That's a lot for me as not too big a fan of comedies. And then like John Travolta, I just thought it was gonna be the same thing, but I was smiling and laughing right off the bat. It's Chili at a restaurant getting hit with a whole bunch of name puns, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel for everyone named Chili, Summer, Autumn, because that was so fucking real, and I hated every second of it. Just stop, my guy. But the guy who makes all of the name jokes against him steals his coat Apparently they're in the same mob together, the same Miami mob together. So Chili knows exactly where he lives, goes, and as soon as the guy opens up the door, he decks the guy, takes his coat, and leaves. And then the next part to that scene is the guy coming in with like a bloody taped up nose to go shoot Chili for punching him, for taking his coat. And Chili gets tipped off by the people up front like, hey, there's someone coming for you. So he's got a gun ready, waiting for the coat thief to open up the door. And as soon as he does, he like fires at him, and it's such a good shot that he grazes the top of his head and the guy runs off. And then the next part is him with like a bloody bandaged nose and then a bloody bandaged forehead. And then of course it cuts to like the Get Shorty with the mini credits at the beginning. But yeah, I was just laughing my ass off. I originally thought that this film was going to be a gang war over a frickin' coat, but no. It's him going to LA and just dominating the playing fields. He just gets everyone to talk. Nobody keeps their mouth shut around him because he's just got like such a way with words, or he's super threatening. So he's getting all of this information, tidbits that he can use, and is so convincing that he gets Harry Zim to allow him to help work with the film, provided that he brings in some cash, right, to make this film happen. He manages to get Danny DeVito's character, Martin Weir, in on the movie that they're trying to make. Ends up getting the female lead, Karen Flores, played by Renee Russo, to fall in love with him. And he's like, I don't know, I was quite impressed by how easily he was winning all these people over. But these people are all crazy. Like, I know in the last episode I said I didn't like characters being dumb just for the sake of pushing plot, right? But for this kind of comedy, there's like a level of dumb undertone that's to be expected, and it worked out fine. Harry Zim, though, was just, oh my god, dude, have you ever heard of the phrase loose lips sink ships? Holy fuck. He wasn't as bad for me as Teddy was, our lead in the last film, but oh my god, he did push so much of the drama. Chili is literally pushing his own story to be turned into a movie, because it is a pretty good movie movie idea if you think about it. It's the basis for this film, and I really enjoyed it. And Karen, she's very like no nonsense and a little bit jaded, but manages to put together in the first pitch, yeah, this is your story. And so Harry Zim therefore knows that this is all real, and ends up sharing this with some of the other loan sharks that he's in trouble with, because as mentioned in the recap, he's also in some pretty big debt. But Chili wants to go into movies so badly that he's willing to help him do whatever to get out of debt, as long as he helped him get into Hollywood. And also Chili helping him get Martin Weir and bring some cash to the table to get this movie made. But Harry, oh my god, there's a scene where his loan sharks come to get the money from him, and Chili's like, don't say anything, says everything. He's like, do not introduce me, do not even acknowledge I'm here, do not say anything. And he does it right off the bat, like first sentence, like, this is my associate, Chili Palmer. And he's like, what are you doing? Look, kind of thing. And then proceeds to do everything he told him not to, because it looked like Chili would have been able to handle it. But no, Harry cannot keep his mouth shut. He puts his movie at risk, he puts another movie that he's workshopping at risk, and then even goes so far as to call Chili's frickin' mob boss, because he gets so frustrated with Chili because he's so easily manipulated. The loan sharks are like, oh yeah, he's found money and he's keeping it from you. Oh yeah, you can totally believe us because we're totally not holding your movie hostage and all of this stuff. You know, we're not coming to threaten you. No, it's fine. He's the one that's got the problems. And he believes it. And so he reaches out and calls Chili's mob boss, and he's like, come give me money. I'll tell you where Chili is and all your money is. And I'm like, my God. And of course he gets his ass kicked because it's a mob boss, and he bluffed a mob boss and then couldn't carry through. It worked for the comedy, the silly comedy where everyone's just a little bit crazy and a little bit delusional. But oh gosh, he definitely did live up to the frustrating counterpart to Chili. Chili was so calm, cool, and collected and just kind of knew what to do at all times. And Harry was like, hold on, let me fuck up, let me be crazy. And it was like, no, just no, oof. Danny DeVito was not in it as much as I thought he was gonna be. He definitely was a more toned down version of what Danny DeVito's characters normally are. His character's still crazy. He's an entirely vain Hollywood star, Martin Weir. They're trying to get him to be in Harry Zim's film because it'll help the film do better and everything. Like, he has a freaking mural of himself in his house, and he's Danny DeVito. He's Danny DeVito. Rene Russo, again, no nonsense, just kind of jaded. Also wants to go into producing movies, not necessarily be like an actress that basically just stands there and looks pretty and screams. She's sick and tired of it. And like half the time, whenever you have like the there to be pretty female counterparts, they're just kind of irritating or you didn't need to be in it. And she was fine. She actually brought stuff to the table. She helped introduce Chili to Martin Weir because they used to be married, and like was actually a part in the film, not just the boobs of the group. She cannot lock doors. I will say that. Nobody could lock doors. Let's be real. When they meet, it's Chili having just broken into her house. And Harry's just like, oh yeah, no, it's no big deal that you just broke into the house. It's fine. And she addresses it like, you just came through the back door, like what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, it was open. And which, I mean, maybe it may not have been open. He may have busted the lock because again, he's a mobster and doing whatever. But like, it seems nobody can lock their doors because he gets into her house multiple times along with like one of the opposing mobsters in LA. He manages to break into Harry's office a couple of times, I think, as well. And then of course, everyone's just so blasé about being shot at or having their house broken into or whatever. It's like definitely for me part of the comedic charm as well, because I would have been like, are we not gonna talk about how they just held this person hostage a little bit? And it's just like she's cool with it. It's fine. Or like he just got beaten up. Yeah, it's fine, whatever. He's chill with it. I like, what? I kind of loved it, honestly. It was just like, what the shit? What the shit? And it was one of those films where everyone keeps crossing paths, but they don't know it. There's other people in the LA mob group that Chili will just walk by, and of course they don't know that he's an important part to it. Like there's this whole side thread that ends up getting the opposing mobsters taken down of drug money being locked up in an airport locker. So like the people most involved with that will walk by Chili and he'll have no idea how important the other person is to the story, but of course we as the audience do. Chili's coat thief and mob associate, he'll walk by Karen and the two just won't know each other. So it's a lot of those that are just kind of like, they're right there. What the hell? They're right there. Do something. But they just don't know. And that side thread, which is pretty important, but I'm not going to get into in this video, is how they wrap up getting Harry Zim out of danger from them. Some of the antagonists end up getting killed, but then there's a scene where one of them walks into the airport unaware of what this money actually is, just know that it's there and goes to unlock the locker. And it ends with him unlocking the locker and cuts to the next scene. So you don't have the quote unquote satisfaction of watching it all go down because you don't really need it. You know from watching the film like exactly what's gonna happen. There's also pieces where you can't think about it too much because it is a comedy. Because how would Chili not have been implicated because of who this person is, and how did this person also get away because he was heavily involved? But you know what? It's fine because I like both of these characters and I'm glad that they've now finally broken into the movie industry or gotten back into the movie industry, and I'm glad to see that they're doing well for themselves. So do I kind of wish that we saw the ends? Not really. It was done just fine. I was fine with it. Do I have some questions about how certain things panned out? Yes. Again, I'm not gonna think too much about it. I'm just gonna probably chalk it up to Chili would have been able to talk himself out of that with no problems whatsoever. I think that was my only not really gripe, not really a hang up, just second thought about the movie. I highly recommend this film. I know that no matter how I tried to describe it, it's not going to encompass everything that this film actually is. If you have seen this film, definitely leave me your thoughts in the comments. I would love to open up a discussion about this film. Honestly, I dare say that this is my favorite movie out of our 2025 movies so far. We'll see, we have a couple more months to go, but until then, I will see you guys next time in 2005.